put out our first single to what I would think, for me, is unbelievable acclaim. I couldn't believe it. We just put out the second one, and, you know, it did occur to me, I wonder, is this going to do as well? Or, you know, in the media. Are people going to like it as much in the media?
I think progressively the Irish media is getting better at covering independent Irish bands, partly because of therapy, partly because of the success of the Cranberries, and the fact that the Irish media almost missed out on the Cranberries. Well, got to the Cranberries after the American media had got to the Cranberries, and after the Cranberries were already incredibly successful in America. And that was a bit embarrassing.
Okay, we've all put out records, you know, so what's the next step? The next step is to get them, make sure that they're played, make sure that you're written about, and make sure that you get press. And you see, that shouldn't come into it again. It never mattered before, and it shouldn't matter now. You make your record because you want people to listen to it, not because you want a press release or somebody to write about you. If that happens, it's a bonus. If anybody comes to me and says, you know, well, do you not think it's time for you to go to London? I mean, you've paid your dues in Ireland. You know, that paid your dues isn't one of those myths, and I think that's crap. You know, like, there's a young band here somewhere who've just formed, and hopefully in 3 weeks they'll do a gig, and they could be huge in 3 weeks, 4 weeks after that. Now, they might not have the depth, but in Ireland they're given the chance to come on. You know, there's a lot of bands to play with. It doesn't cost you a fortune. You know, you've got your families here or whatever. You've got places to stay. You go to London, you haven't got any of those. You don't know where to rehearse. You've got very few contacts. You have to start making a living out of it, maybe. And you've no family behind you.
One of the most disgusting things I ever seen in the press recently was a review of a single by The Revenants, who are on an independent label. I saw a review of one of their singles in an English publication, and there was one line and it said, someone should tell these people that the potato is not a musical instrument, you know. When you're up against that, you never can tell whether perceptions here will change no matter what you do.
London is not necessarily the first step anymore, as it was for years. That was the progression, you know, from the country to Dublin, from Dublin to London, from London to Europe, from Europe to maybe the States at some stage.
And we just realised that, like, we've got bands over here that are better, you know, and it's like, that's the first time that's happened as well, that people sort of realise that we don't have to look to England to second guess what they're at, you know, because that's just a bad way to go, you know.
The scene there has been so bad that it's given Irish bands confidence because they are much better.
We out-rock the English.
Yeah.
If, for instance, for some reason it all had to stop tomorrow, we'd all be in the pub tomorrow with each other, more than likely. There hasn't been the feeling of animosity. Maybe there will be. That's when we fall into the trap of, like, the media thing. Oh, you know, they got signed, did you hear that? I mean, who cares? Great.
It's sort of at the stage at the moment where it's very difficult to tell what's going to happen. Hopefully it'll sustain itself, and the quality control will always be there, and that, like, just good bands will be able to put out stuff.
I don't see us really being successful. I can see us still going in 10 years' time, and people maybe, like, my ambition for us is for someone to say in 10 years' time, they're a great band, you know, I've got a load of their records, no one ever listened to them, but they gave me a bit of a kick.
If in a year's time they all have another record out, then that's enough, you know.
What's the practice back?
Show me around the streets you made your name in, your loose roots, your early reputation. Show me around the streets you made your name in, just where you met your first and greatest love.